Hello, welcome back. It's been a while. Just life, happened as it does. And, I got no research done for the next video. But it's been so long since I've done one that I decided I would just sit down and, share random historical facts that I have collected throughout my life, because I'm that person that remembers only the random historical facts. So, yes, I am here. I have my tea, my current project. Is it blurred? There we go. Embroidery I am working on. And we'll get back to learning history stuff together. Let me get this knot out really quick. I lost it. Okay. So this is going to be shorter because, and just different from the others. I really not sure how this is gonna go, but we're gonna try it. Okay. Oh, there, out of frame. The biggest random facts I have ever that I retain have to do with the Wright Brothers. This might be because I think they were cool. And they flew, first pilots. And wanting to get to my pilot's license myself, I think it's pretty daring of, two fellas to hop into this thing they created and, basically hope they don't die. Yeah. I mean, that's definitely a guy thing to do, I've noticed, just because, I don't know, it just seems like that's definitely a guy thing. But also, it's just impressive. They just went for it. So, yeah. So they're first. And the first and main random fact I know about them is that they never flew together in all the times they were flying. Okay, I take that back. There was one time they flew together, and their dad. Talking is hard. Okay, just so you know, it's really hard. Okay, so the story of why they never flew together. Before them, there were two brothers that were trying the same thing. They wanted, man-powered aircraft. And they built it, and they got in the aircraft together, and it crashed. And both of the brothers died. So when the Wright brothers' dad heard that they were, wanting to fly and everything, he asked them to not fly together. That he was all behind, the whole flying thing, but he did not want them to fly at the same time, because if there was an accident, he didn't want to lose both sons. And the only time they flew together was, their dad was like, yeah, and I need to research the circumstances, but it was some event, and they flew together, but the dad was, okay with it. He wasn't. By that point, he had been up in the aircraft with them, and he thought it was pretty cool. So, yeah, that's why they never flew together, except for that one time. The second random fact I know about them, I need to stop kicking that. Wow. Wow. Okay. Neither of them got married. And I don't remember which brother had which reason for never getting married. I think Orville, he was the older one. I think he was the one that didn't get married because he saw romance as a waste of time. He wanted to focus on flying, and he didn't want to have to, divide his attention with a girl. Which, I don't know. I mean, okay. And then Wilbur, the younger one, I think he was the one that was just too painfully awkward and shy around girls that he never got up the courage to ask one out on a date. So he never got married because he was just, he just couldn't bring himself to talk to a girl. Just sad. I mean, you would think eventually that would be outgrown, but it's just sad. He never talked to a girl except for his sister, but it doesn't count when it's a sibling. Yeah, anyway. Okay. Now we're going to move on to President Buchanan. And I was going to save this for a more in-depth, detailed video, or recording, film, video, whatever of it. But I can still share the random facts, and then I do plan to do a follow-up. So President Buchanan, not well known as far as I know. Not a lot of people know about him, remember him. But to refresh memories of those who don't remember him, he was the president before Lincoln. And I'm going to get into him in the future. Just, I mean, what a person. But, okay, so Nevada was trying to gain statehood during, the whole events of the Civil War. Leading up to the Civil War. There was a lot of stuff going on. So to get into statehood, there had to be like a certain amount of people in the territory. That was one of the requirements, and then there were other requirements. Nevada didn't have enough people at the time, but we had, because I live in Nevada, so I can say we, even though I'm not a Nevadan. I'm from Wyoming. But we had silver, so, woohoo! Silver funding for the war. But Buchanan didn't want to deal with the upcoming Civil War. Like, he saw it coming. It was pretty obvious that the country was heading in that direction. He didn't want to deal with it. So when Nevada was applying for statehood, there was a division between Nevada and Utah. And there was like some debate as to where the line should be drawn, that type of thing. And also the Mormons in Utah wanted to have Nevadans become Mormon. So they were kind of pushing for that. Nevadans didn't want to. So the Mormons were just getting really pushy about it. So Buchanan's solution to this was to declare war on Utah. And this really happened. So he declared war on Utah, and troops were sent marching over. Nothing happened. There was no battle, but yeah, there was the United States declared war on Utah at one point. Another thing with Buchanan is he got this idea to bring hippos into the States. Now, I don't know if this is a well-known fact, but you don't mess with hippos. You don't have to mess with them. You look at them funny, and you're kind of done for, which I'll explain. But anyway, Buchanan got the idea of hippos are, sturdy looking, kind of docile looking. Let's bring them in and use them for packing. They could, instead of mules or horses, they could use these sturdy, docile hippos and use them to carry goods from one place to another. I don't know why this would have been thought to be a good idea without asking anyone in the country where he's getting the hippos from, you know, more information on hippos. Because in Africa, it's known you don't get into the water with hippos, and you just kind of avoid them because hippos will kill you. So, you know, lions have sharp teeth. Okay. Hippos don't. So they maul you and trample you, and it's just not a good way to go. So Buchanan brings all these hippos in without, I don't know, doing any research. You know, just check with someone and be like, hey, anything I need to know about hippos? But no, he just brings them in. It didn't work out. His plan didn't work out. So, the swamps in Florida ended up with a bunch of rogue hippos, and a special force had to go in and deal with the hippos. So, way to go, Buchanan. Like I said, I'm going to save more of the Buchanan stuff for a future video, but, interesting guy. Very interesting. And hippos and war on Mormons in Utah. I don't know. Speaking of statehood entries, territory entries into statehood. That's where I was going with that. As I said, Nevada did not have enough people at the time to get accepted for statehood, but that was waived because of the silver and the funding needed. Also, it was agreed upon if they joined the Union instead of Confederacy, they could get statehood. During this whole thing of the Civil War starting up and, you know, them agreeing to supply silver to the war fund, there was a huge debate amongst mayors of where the capital of Nevada should be. And it came down to Carson City and Virginia City. And Virginia City is about a half-hour drive from Carson City. It's up in the hills. It's surrounded by old silver mines. And it was one of the biggest cities at the time because it had, you know, it was where the silver was being found. Sorry, I slipped. Now it's just more of a tourist town. It's really cute. Really cute little place. Really fun to go and visit. But anyway, and then there was Carson City. And now the mayor of Virginia City thought that the capital should be in Virginia City because of the silver, and, you know, it's like, it's the bigger place, they're producing more the silver, which is the reason they get to join the statehood, get statehood. The mayor of Carson City didn't like that idea. He wanted it to be in Carson City. I don't really know how it was settled. I don't believe this, what I'm about to tell you is how it was settled. But anyway, while they were still debating it, the two mayors got into a bar fight in Virginia City. And, yeah, bar fight over, you know, the capital between two mayors. And like I said, I don't know if that's what settled the debate, if like the mayor of Carson City won and he just went, woohoo, I get the capital city because I beat you up in a bar, or if it had more legal ramifications, which I would hope, but you know, it's the West. I could totally see that argument being settled over a bar fight. And my question was, did the winner, I don't know which mayor won, but did the winner win because he threw the loser out the window like you see in the Westerns? Because I don't know. I would just, that would be great. I would like that. And the mayor wouldn't, but I would like that. That would be just extra added onto the story. Okay, moving to Wyoming. It was another state that, or why do I keep saying state? It was another territory that wanted to join, you know, the states. Wanted to be a state. They didn't have enough people either, and they weren't getting any more people. No, but okay. Facts of Wyoming for those that don't know. I grew up, born and raised there. When the wind doesn't blow, it's like this shocking thing. Like you step outside and something feels wrong, and you don't really know what, because it's so common for the wind to just blow and blow and blow. There were winters where our lows were lower than Alaska. The snow doesn't fall this way, it blows vertically. So you get these drifts in the snow, and then the ice cakes on top of them, well, because of the wind. It goes like this. In the winter, it's too cold to snow. So our biggest snowstorms were in the spring when it warmed up a little bit. Highs for summer are kind of 70s. You get higher than, you get the 80s, and it's a complete shock. Alkali fields everywhere. Can't really grow anything there too well. So a lot of cowboys. But yeah, anyway. It wasn't like the state everyone was rushing to. And still to this day, it is the least populated state in America. Okay, but anyway, they wanted statehood. But they didn't have enough people, and no one was coming. So their solution was, when it was like 3 other states were trying to join, 3 other territories were trying to get statehood. So Wyoming filled out their, stuff, and they snuck it in. They're like, they have 3 that are trying to get statehood right now. If we just sneak ours in with them, they'll be so overwhelmed with trying to figure all this stuff out that we can get statehood. And it worked. Wyoming, yeah, obviously is a state now, even though some people think it's a hole in the ground, or is just there so there won't be a hole in the ground. But yeah, sneaky Wyoming people. What else can I share about that? Wyoming is the first state in which a woman voted. Her name was Louise Swain. She was this cute little old lady. And when it was said women could vote, she got in line. She got her little ballot. She put it in her little lunchbox on her way to work, and toddled off. And she was in Laramie, where I grew up. Toddled off, put her vote in, and went to work. There's a statue of her there in Laramie now. I'm gonna do more a longer video on her, because she just seemed like this cute little grandmotherly lady that would grandma everyone. So yes, first woman to vote was from Laramie, Wyoming. I'm still going to stay on the Wyoming topic for a moment. I was doing some research into Steamboat, and that's going to take more detail, which I will be doing. But Steamboat was this bronco, a horse, bucking bronco, basically. He's on the Wyoming license plate. And while I was looking in to see where, his story, all about Steamboat, I came across this very short article written about a man that served in World War I. He was a cowboy from Wyoming, and he had this horse that he loved to pieces. Like, He was a true cowboy. He loved his horse. So World War I broke out, and he signed up or got drafted to serve. But he didn't want to leave behind his beloved horse, who he loved so very, 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 very much. But he had an idea, so he would not have to leave behind his beloved horse that he loved so very, 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 very much. He took the horse with him overseas. Which, I guess, sneaking a horse on board a ship to go overseas during World War I would not be too overly suspicious, because they still had horses. They were still, you know, using horses during that war. Maybe he did it while they were loading up the other horses, and he just pretended that, you know, this is another horse that was going to serve in the war, and just took him on board and just snuck him on. I don't think he told anyone that this was his special beloved horse that he loved so very, very, very much. I don't think, given the circumstances and what happened afterward, they would have let him bring this beloved horse if they had known that it was his beloved horse. But anyway, he got overseas with this horse to Europe, or in the Europe area. He got ready to go fight. And he would not let anyone ride his horse into battle. So at this point, obviously, it's going to be found out that this is his personal horse that he brought from Wyoming overseas into the war with him, but not to serve like the other horses did. Can't ride it into battle. It has to stay back at camp, getting fed oats and whatever else, and well treated, because this is his beloved horse. I don't know how that went over. It was really sad, because I just found this really short little article on it. Like, you can't drop like a 5-paragraph article on this story and not get more information. What did his commanding officers do when they found out he wasn't going to let anyone ride this horse, and it was his own personal horse that he had snuck overseas because he didn't trust anyone back home to take care of it? Was he in trouble? Were they so amused by this that they were just like, okay, this will be our mascot horse? I want more information. But I'm going to have to really look into this one because I can't find too much on it. I just thought it was funny that he's just like, no, this is my horse. And this horse is not going to fight. We are all going to fight and get shot at, but not my horse. My horse is going to stay back at camp, and my horse better be well taken care of when I get back. So, yeah, that one amuses me a lot. But, yeah, those are some random historical facts I thought I would share. I have a bunch more, and I'm going to make myself sit down and actually research for the next video. So, I will see you all soon, and I hope you're doing well and enjoying the spring, if you actually have spring, because we don't. It's been cold, but I'm not complaining. So, see you again next time.